In this wonderful video, I'm going to talk about the one challenge no one's up for. That is cold traffic. And cold traffic is one of those things where there's endless opportunity. It's better than stocks. It's better than real estate. It's the best way to invest your money if you're profitable. Because there's so much of it out there, it's crazy. So how does this work? And I got my notes here that took me like many years to learn about just cold traffic. This is my notes just on cold traffic. So cold traffic, it's the biggest ocean. It's the biggest ocean of opportunity because it applies to any niche and you can sell anything. Now, here's just some basic principles I know right off the top of my head just for cold traffic, is it takes longer of a bridge to get someone to know, like, and trust you from cold to buying. There's a lot of ways to do this, but oftentimes it's long videos that give value, and then you pitch at the end your offer. And you can pitch in the beginning too, and the end, because the whole time they're going to get value from you, and they're going to be aware of the product from the beginning. It's a level 10 or 11 opportunity, big time, if you're profitable. You can run ads to the whole world. You can literally, with your computer, run ads to the whole entire world and access them. That's mind-blowing, just by itself. It requires more simple language to convert these people. Way simpler language is necessary and needed. It's called technobabble if you use big words, okay, especially for the niche, like that people won't understand. So funnels, most people don't understand, who are normal people, for internet marketing, or even traffic. They don't really understand. You mean like car traffic? You mean like blah, blah, blah traffic? This is why most people will not be successful. It's because they're not curious. Curiosity is one of those things that makes someone successful. Cold traffic. It's all about trust, and results and credentials and social proof and association and authority and testimonials, recommendation, and emotional transference. Emotional transference is transferring an emotion to other people, like excitement. If you're genuinely excited about something, that's how you do it. You have to sell something you're excited about. Next is story selling. No risk to them and benefits to them, and low risk tripwire or lead gen on the front end of your funnel. Put more effect into educating them and emotionally engaging them. Have no technobabble though. This is how you sell to cold traffic right there. This card is gold. You can buy gold with this knowledge by running to cold traffic, making money buying gold. I'm telling you. Okay, next is stack cognitive biases. There's an endless amount of cold traffic, and if you can know how to convert them, then you'll always make money. I mean, this is where I've made most of my money, if not all my money, is cold traffic and converting them to hot. You can do this with free and paid traffic. You make content. It brings people into all the content. They spend on average a good amount of time with you to build up trust, and then they're going to buy something from you. And then once they buy something that they like and they enjoy the experience, they're going to buy more. It's crazy. And then when it comes to paid traffic, tons of money made there. All you got to do, freaking run traffic to like content or long VSL and people buy. If you're selling your own stuff, then start them off with a very high value, low cost, no risk tripwire with upsells. And then have lots of upsells and push up the value ladder after that to more high ticket stuff. If you're doing your own offers, it's 100% commission. But if you're doing affiliate marketing, you got to do things more smart. In fact, with affiliate marketing, it's better just to do free traffic. That's where I made most of my money, from freaking affiliate markets, free traffic and email lists. Free traffic, big time, because doing it with paid traffic, sure, you can do it, but it's better just to do free traffic, trust me. And then email list. Build your email list from the free traffic or from a buyer's email list in general, from doing tripwire funnels and stuff like that. You can email blast your huge list of actual buyers, and they're going to buy. Okay, whatever you promote them because they've purchased before. If you have your own offers and they purchased from you before, they're going to keep wanting to buy from that brand. They know the difference between a brand and another brand, another brand, another brand. Okay, emotional transference. You must create desire and trust around the offer with cold traffic. Okay. I guess I have allergies this morning. Sorry, guys. Okay. Keep going here. In general, education and value and then pitch is a great format. And a great important thing for cold traffic is story selling and simple language. And if you say a big word that you have to say, then you use the kind of like bridge. You say, it's kind of like blank, okay? So they understand what that word means, and then you can keep moving forward, okay? So they don't just leave because they're overwhelmed. Okay, so that is some stuff about cold traffic. Now, also, novelty ads and curiosity in general for an offer is powerful. A big breakthrough for me in general when I first started was stacking the cognitive biases. But curiosity is a powerful one. Urgency and scarcity cannot be undervalued. Money is attracted to and flows to things that are scarce and in demand. So what is that? Something with a lot of social proof in demand and something that's very scarce, like there's very few of it, or perceived as that. Okay? And then if they have no clue what it is, but they want it, because of curiosity, you're going to crush it. And then when an authority is selling, you make a lot of money. Okay? Anyway, it's very powerful stuff I'm talking about. Like, this is going to make you guys millionaires. Hello? Millionaires. Okay, let's keep going. High Vren score ads. What's a high Vren score ad? Value, rarity, inimitable, non-substitutable. What is that? That's basically something very rare. And when you make ads or your products or anything, you need to make something very rare that can be shared. And novelty, by the way, is something that can be very shared. And the most guaranteed way to get a successful ad is novelty. Something unexpected, a twist, a large spike in novelty. I'm telling you, a surprise moment. Like, I'm telling you, okay? Unexpected works in ads, bro. Okay. So, put a little sugar in your marketing. That's huge. Put a little sugar in your marketing. What is that? Free stuff, giveaways, hot chicks, sex sells. Giving more bonuses. Sugar in your marketing. You got to think of all the angles there, but it's reward bias, which is huge. Okay. Let's see, social media because it's the force. Interesting. Okay, skip that. Sell what people actually want. Now, this is Perry Belcher, someone I highly respect in marketing. Perry Belcher. Who is he? He's basically a guy who did like 8 figures. He's still alive. He's probably going to reach 9, which is like 100 mil plus, which, I could picture myself doing for sure in life. But what he's talking about here is, this is a secret webinar I took notes on a long time ago, and the knowledge inside is priceless. Okay, so I'm going to cover it real quick. This is gold. Okay. Sell desire, sell what people actually want, and how to sell. So, people want rich, people want skinnier, stronger, leaner, people want love, status, respect, and sex, and sell as if you're talking to a friend. Okay, don't be professional. Okay, next is fear of failure holds them back. Little faith holds them back. Don't sell improvement offers, sell stories and new opportunity and great no-brainer offers. We're applying this to cold traffic, don't forget that. This is huge, okay? If your message is a story and you're selling something low ticket, by the way, you do not want to have a long VSL, video sales letter, selling a $1 or less than $10 offer. You need, because that's a tripwire. You're going to want to have a long VSL for selling high ticket, and you want to get on the phone to sell high ticket too. Those two methods work great. Okay. Moving on. Is this possible? Is this attainable? Have I done this before? Okay, this is why curiosity is powerful, because most people have done everything, or at least learned a little bit about something. So when you make them curious and tell them what it's not, they want to know what it is, and you can benefit their life by informing them what it is. And there's a lot of things I know that I will teach in the future. Obviously, they'll paywall, so someone pays to learn it. But there are truly secrets to making money, and it's very interesting to me. So it's very crazy. There are truly secrets in this world. Okay, how many things does your customers have to believe to buy from you? How many things do they have to believe? So usually it has to do with the vehicle, which is what you're selling. And then, they have to trust you. They have to trust your company. They have to believe in themselves, and they have to believe externally and internally in themselves. Okay, like those are the objections you have to overcome. Okay, next is the harder the, let's see. Sorry, my handwriting has changed over time. The sale. So just have one big promise you sell them on. One big promise. And by the way, guaranteeing results, selling results is what sells, guys. I'm telling you. In the health, wealth, and love niche is what you should focus on, because that's where all the money is. Here's an example. If you pick a niche that has, this is a physical example here. Let's say a $100 bill, and then a niche that has like tons of $100 bills, and you got a sliver of one of those. Which one would you want? Obviously the one with a lot of money. So the one with a small amount of money you don't want. Okay, it's a small niche. If you get a piece of pie of that here, it's not worth it. That's what I'm saying. Okay, don't sell the cure. Only sell new and pleasure and pain of not buying. This is huge. So there's a repercussion for them not buying, like they lose the opportunity to buy forever, or the bonuses are gone, or the price goes up forever. All of a sudden there's a pain of not buying. FOMO. This stuff took me years to learn, boys. Okay, your product is just a new opportunity, emotional benefit, and story. Okay? Replace what's not working in people's current lives. Okay? Replace what's not working for them and not something better or an improvement. Okay? You want to drastically give them something new. Okay? Sell status symbol. People, the mammalian brain is the third part of the brain, the second brain, it's called. And it has to do with status, like social and all that. Okay? Communication, everything. So people are right through their eyesight. Ooh, I poked my eye. Okay. With status, people are naturally looking at others and deciding their status comparison. So it's unconscious, which is powerful because in unconscious, that's how you sell to people, not conscious mind. Conscious mind is for justifying the purchase after. I'm telling you. Fresh, new, exciting, and perfect. Don't sell improvement because it reminds people of past poor decisions. This stuff's so powerful, I could go on and on, but at the end of the day, okay, all of this is powerful here. After you sell them the first thing, guys, just simply send them a value ladder of more stuff. Okay, let's see. Mostly everything you sell comes down to sex. Sex sells. Okay, does that make sense? So you don't want nude. If you're doing like an adult offer, promoting an adult offer, you may use nudity. I don't want to do that personally anymore. I prefer them being clothed. It's more ethical to me. But when you have attractive girls and you're selling to men, or if you have attractive men selling to girls, what happens, or attractive women using some product and selling to men type thing, this is sex sells. Everything comes down to reproduction. This is biology. This is the study of life. So basically, everyone you have to, it's something you're born with. You want to reproduce, type thing. That's why it's at the center of and the crux of most decisions everyone makes in life. Like, this is what he's saying, and I think it's very powerful. Okay, sex sells because that's the number one angle you can actually leverage out of all the angles ever that I've ever seen, that he's ever seen. When you bring it back to sex unconsciously, without saying it to them, it's powerful. Okay, so for example, someone using your product. Let's say you're marketing to someone to use your product, and your messaging is a bunch of hot chicks liking the guy who's using the product, and you're selling to men. That's your demographic, and all these women are attracted to this guy for maybe a couple reasons, but the product is at the core of it, the messaging. That is sex sells. I'm telling you. The offer must increase the prospect's status. So these are status things that increase the status. This is really gold here, okay? Because it's like a list of what you can do and what represents it to people. So intelligence is one, believe it or not. Crazy, right? Symbols, okay? What's a symbol? You could say a car is a symbol. You could say certain body language things are symbols. You could say style is a symbol. You could say, or chains like gold chains, necklaces. I have some of those. And actually, I have quite a few of those. Way too many. Appearance and physical appearance, health and fitness is actually one. Power, that's a big one. Social proof is a huge, huge, huge one. Being a hero, being an authority, having happiness and smiling, being happy. Style and wealth, having money. These things are status increases if you can convey them through your messaging and marketing. Status is linked to sex sells, by the way. I don't know if you guys are knowing that. Okay, chance to gain with low chance of downside. Okay, so there's a low risk here for people with your freaking offer. Okay, because you want people to experience purchasing and then enjoying the offer. They're just going to be easier to sell again. That makes sense? That's a whole psychology there. Next is guaranteed increase in status. That's what people want, and they feel that by seeing the social proof of others and seeing the results of people using the product type thing. Like, literally, it's all subconscious, bro. This is sales. This is master sales. And, if you want to make money online, which is the go-to way to make money, you don't want to be selling in person. But if you are selling in person, you're going to be repeating yourself a lot. It's not fun. But you want to sell online, trust me. And the coolest thing about selling online is you can put together the best video sales letter that's optimized perfectly to sell 100%, convey 100%, what you're selling perfectly. With the story, with the closing messages, with the opening, with the big promise, with the objection handling. These things, I'm telling you, oh my gosh, I love talking about this right now. Okay, one sentence persuasion. Get ready for this. This is like how you can persuade. You don't want to just use this in your marketing. It's just another thing to add to it, which, by the way, Lollapalooza is stacking as much cognitive biases and other things for the one sole purpose of persuading people. Okay, one sentence persuasion. Justify their failures. Ally their fears. Throw rocks at their enemies. Confirm their suspicions. Encourage their dreams. Sales works with picking up chicks. I'm telling you, okay? Like one sentence persuasion, you can confirm their suspicions, they trust you more. Because they, by default, should trust you, but because people are naturally risk averse, you have to know how to persuade people to just trust you more because you're trustworthy. That's it. You're human too, but they need to understand that. Okay, so ally fears, throw rocks at their enemies. So a lot of times, okay, I could talk about girls here, but we're going to talk about money. Throwing rocks at enemies. So throw rocks at competitors is a one sentence persuasion. Confirming suspicions is, hey, I am selling you something here, but you got to pay attention to this. Okay, it shows that you're trustworthy because you're telling them what they're already thinking. Okay. Next is encourage their dreams. Tell them they can do it and get the result that you're promising. Every time when you sell something to health, wealth, or love niches, you need to be selling a result. And I told you those results people are looking after. They want skinnier, stronger, leaner, if it's the health niche. They want to be rich if it's the wealth niche. And they want to have love, status, respect, and sex in the love niche. Okay? Ally fears. Throw all their fears of purchase aside. Okay? Ally fears means just do that. Push it away. So, have a refund policy. And then have a policy behind the policy saying, so you cover your butt, so that people don't, refund like crazy and stuff because people are crazy. There are people with horrible personality types. I'm telling you, I've dealt with it. It's amazingly awesome perspective of the world because you realize, bro, I'm so far ahead of these people. It's crazy. Like, these are my competitors, these entrepreneurs, because I only do like customer service for my freaking personal brand. So some people barely ever, and that's the best part of it, because I attract a very powerful audience with my brand. Barely ever people ask for refunds because, I attract really high quality people to the high ticket stuff and even courses. And I price point at the perfect prices and stuff. But then you'll get people that will be like a nightmare client, like it's funny. And, that stems from, them being broke. And, I should screen them first before they buy. Because if they're broke, people tend to act very differently when they're broke. Okay, they're in a scarcity mindset. It's, I think all people are pure and great. I think there is, serial killers or whatever and people like that. They lack a certain part of their brain, but they still, if they had that part of their brain that makes them have empathy and stuff, they would be a good person. So everyone's a good person at the end of the day. Okay, justify failures is the fifth one. What is that? You basically justify their past failures. You tell them this is a new thing. That's how you do that. And this is one sentence persuasion, baby. This is how you make money you're going to make more money by implementing as many cognitive biases and as many persuasion triggers as you can. There's words that sell. I'm telling you, it can be the words you say that can sell. It's not just about how you say it. It's combining as much as possible. You should treat making money not as simple. You're in the mentorship program for a reason here. You probably are more advanced than beginner. But if you're a beginner, just keep learning and gaining knowledge and skills. But at the end, if you really want to make serious money, don't treat stuff as simple. That's what people want to hear on the front end of me talking. On the back end, if you really want to make money, get advanced, think outside the box, and freaking make the best sales messages you've ever freaking thought of. Okay? How you make millions of dollars is you plan a really good product and you plan really good copywriting messages. That's it. And then you send traffic and it sells. Okay? It sells a lot. Okay? Incentivize them to buy. Mainstream plus crazy is prolific. There's this thing called prolific. And basically you can pick a mainstream niche like health, wealth, or love, but then you add in a little crazy to it. And all of a sudden you have a basic niche most people know. You add a little crazy to it, twist. All of a sudden people pay more attention to it because it's new of a message. So, for example, like What if there was a way in the health niche that people could lose weight by eating ice cream plus the ice cream has veggies in it or something like it, and it works for people? I mean, that's an angle someone could go with, and like, if it works, that's the thing. That's the only difference. It has to work. Okay. Having reverses of status. Okay, these are things that reverse status. This is huge. Cut this out of your marketing, bro. I'm telling you. You have nothing to lose. Okay, so what reverses status from them wanting to buy? Because it's all come down to status and sex sells. So have less money and resources is a low status thing. Growing older. Okay, I mean, in general, everyone has low status then, if that's the truth, but that is what he said. Because growing older can be seen as, low status. It's just how it is. Okay, lack of sex, lack of pre-selection is the type of thing you could say. Feeling stupid. Okay, so if you feel stupid, that is a status decrease. So you need to be an expert at what you sell, or you need to have someone sell that is an expert, because that can convey itself very quickly online with video and all that stuff and your messages and stuff. You need to come across as an expert in what you're saying. Otherwise, it's status decrease. Looking stupid. Looking stupid can be a status decrease. But that's actually an interesting thing. So you could be in a Lamborghini and walk out looking stupid. That's actually called novelty, which gets shared more because it's unexpected, because people expect him wearing some nice clothes or style or whatever. Like, if you're wearing just basic clothes and get out of a Lamborghini, it's novelty. It's very powerful, I'm telling you. Okay, personal failure. Failing, that's low status, but people need to hear a story. So if you come from these things in a story, or one of these or a couple of these, and then go to the high status things in a story, that's powerful. Okay, stories make messaging easier for people to understand. You need to understand your customer. Interesting. People want to be members of something bigger than themselves type stuff and stuff like that. Okay, your customer avatar, you need to know. You need to have modern day leaders. You need to be a leader. What increases people's beliefs of special opportunities or assumed understandings or trust? A sure thing that'll work for them. A credible source to the masses. Have painful statistics and evidence and stuff. People want to survive and avoid death and have longevity. Okay, these are huge. In general, that's what the what's called reptilian brain looks for. Like, the reptilian brain is directly attached to your retina, which is like your eye. Like, it's attached to your vision. So everything coming in to your vision, is looking subconsciously for that, and it instantly will see it and avoid, pain, or it'll fight. Okay, or run or anything. Okay, best upsells are a bundle of a lot of things relevant to the first thing they bought. Okay, that should be the first upsell. By the way, most people take the first upsell compared to the other upsells. It's just the first thing they see, and they're going to freaking buy it, most likely. Just put it at a good price, bundle it, make it a no-brainer, make it desirable, have good design around it, stuff like that. Have an image of it. They must believe it's possible. This is like gold. I cannot explain. Like, more, it's talking about value and cognitive biases here, and different copywriting. The thing that brings them in should be novelty and curiosity and desired incentive and weird stuff. And, you should scream and not whisper. Wow, that is fun. You basically just build an email list, good sales, sub tripwire, have back end, high ticket, stuff like that. So that is how you sell cold traffic. This is gold.